Melka kunture and Balchit prehistoric site is located about 50 kilometers south of Addis Ababa in Oromia regional state. The prehistoric site is a complex of archaeological and paleontological outcrops rising at the edge of the main Ethiopian rift. It extends over some 80 square kilometers in the banks of the upper Awash River at the altitude of 2,000 meters above sea level. The area is located in a half-graben depression surrounded by volcanoes. The stratigraphic sequence is composed by fluvial lacustrine deposits, interbedded with tephra, reaching an overall thickness of more than 30 meters. The sequence has been dated by magnetostratigraphic and radiometric methods, such as argon-argon, suggesting a human occupation starting at about 1.8 million years. The site preserves one of the longest and most complete prehistoric sequences in East Africa. Every major period of the African archaeological record is included, beginning with the Oldowan, continuing with Acheulean, and then with the Middle and Late Stone Age. Generally speaking, the geological history of the region is characterized by tectonic and volcanic activity related to the late Cenozoic evolution of the Ethiopian Rift. Volcanism in the region probably begins 10 million years ago. Starting 4 to 5 million years ago, it is characterized by multiple eruptions. The position of Melka kunture upstream of the river gorges preserved it until recently from the regressive erosion processes and further contributed to the preservation of a rich archaeological, paleontological, and paleoanthropological record. The site was first discovered in 1963 by Gerard Decker, a Dutch hydrologist and a friend of Louis Leakey. The following year, Gerard Belot, a French archaeologist, carried out the first systematic surveys and collected Paleolithic tools in the Melka kunture basin at localities named Kali, Gombore, Godeti, and Chari Arusi. Since 1965, the French researcher Jean Chavillien organized an interdisciplinary team that investigated the area up to 1999, performing surveys and using a stratigraphic method in excavation. In the same period, Raymond Dart, Louis Leakey, Desmond Clark, Glenn Isaac, Clark Howell, and all the major specialists of African prehistory at the time visited the extensive excavations at Garba 1, Gombore 1, and Gombore 2. They visited again Melka kunture with all the participants to the 7th Pan-African Congress of Prehistory and Quaternary Studies, a major scientific event held in Addis Ababa in 1971. Since 1999, the research is under the responsibility of the Italian Archaeological Mission of University Sapienza of Rome. Chavillien encouraged the beginning of a modern approach, which included archaeology, geology, paleontology, paleoanthropology, and palynology. More than 70 archaeological levels have since been documented, and about 30 archaeological sites have been excavated in extension. This multidisciplinary research reveals and confirms that the area was settled by hominins since 1.8 million years ago, with an impressive continuity of occupation. The unearthed techno-complexes reveal important details of the evolution of human behavior, documenting the technological, economic, and social capabilities of early hominin species. Obsidian was one of the most important raw materials used to make lithic implements. There are many archaeological sites within the core area. It consists of 11 archaeological localities: Balchit, Simbiro 3, Gombore 1, Gombore 1 Gamma, Gombore 2, Gombore 2-2 Butchery Site, Garba 4, Garba 12, Garba 13, Garba 1, and Garba 3. Balchit. The flat obsidian dome flow of Balchit, dated at 4.37 million years, outcrops over an area of about 4 square kilometers, 7 kilometers north of the modern course of the Awash. The primary obsidian source is included within volcanic sediments and is visible at several outcrops. The high-quality Balchit obsidian is also available downstream as pebbles in alluvial deposits. It has been extensively used for knapping since the times when Oldowan industries were produced, 1.8 million years ago, which has never been found elsewhere and is unique to Melka kunture. The area of Balchit is still characterized by impressive outcrop of flaking wastes produced up to historical times. Simbiro 3. Simbiro is a gully on the right bank of the Awash River. Over a distance of 4 kilometers, there are some 15 natural sections where Acheulean lithic industry and fossil bones outcrop. One such outcrop was excavated at Simbiro 3. Acheulean implements such as bifaces, cleavers, unmodified as well as retouched tools make up the assemblages, while the fauna includes hippopotamus, equidae, bovidae, and antelopes. Obsidian and a variety of volcanic rocks were all used, dated at c. 1 million years ago. Gambore 1. This is a site discovered along the Gambore Gully on the right bank of the Awash River. Here there are several archaeological layers starting with the Oldowan at 1.8 million years. Obsidian is a large component of the assemblages. The fauna remains are very fragmented. However, several specimens were identified to family or species level, such as hippopotamus and suids. There are also remains of a giraffid. Elephants and crocodiles are very rare. Bovids are abundant and equids are represented by hipparion. A left distal humerus of Homo erectus sensu lato was discovered in 1976 in layer B2. Palynological analysis suggests that the vegetation at first was a grassland, but that a forest existed not far away. Later, an evergreen juniper open woodland developed. Gambore 1 Gamma. The site of Gambore 1 Gamma was discovered in 1973. The age is close to 1.4 million years. 2,000 lithic and bone finds were recovered from the site. The fauna remains, which are well preserved, are both numerous and varied. Gambore 2 Open Air Museum. The site of Gambore 2 also lays within the Gambore Gully, higher up in the stratigraphic sequence, and includes an archaeostratigraphic unit with an extension of 1,000 square meters dated to 850,000 years ago. Fossil remains were discovered of a hominin described as a probable direct ancestor of Homo heidelbergensis. In 2003, part of the archaeological surface was left in situ for display. The recovered lithic artifacts are of Middle Acheulean type. There are many bifaces and cleavers made from various volcanic rocks, including obsidian. The lithic industry includes small bifaces with twisted edges, a peculiar tool never discovered anywhere else in Africa in stratigraphic context. The faunal remains belong to bovids, giraffids, hippos, suids, and equids. Gambore 2-2 Butchery Site. 30 meters south of the open-air museum, but 6 meters higher up in the sequence, there is Gambore 2-2, dated to 700,000 years ago. Here, researchers documented fragments of hippos and lithics, showing that hippos were butchered. Recent discoveries include a 35 square meters wide paleo surface, with scores of fossil footprints, including 11 imprints left by children and adult hominins. They are covered by an ash flow produced during a major volcanic event. Higher up, more well-preserved hippo footprints, together with a fossil hippo trail, were documented. Later, a fairly humid Afro-montane forest with a dense canopy developed in this area. Garba Gully. There are several sites in the Garba Gully that indicate human activity from around 1.8 million years to c. 200,000 years ago. Garba 4. Garba 4 is located on the right bank of the Awash at the mouth of the Garba Gully. The site was excavated from 1972 until 1982, and again from 2005 to 2009. There are several layers starting with the Aldewan, followed by an early Acheulean. In an Aldewan layer dated to ca. 1.8 million years, a fragment of Homo erectus child mandible was found. Garba 12. Garba 12 is located some 9 meters above the present-day course of the Awash River. Approximately 50 square meters was excavated from 1977 to 1979. Recovered lithics from the site belong to the Middle Acheulean. A geological survey conducted in 2000 to 2001 discovered 2 new archaeostratigraphic units dated to ca. 1 million years. 176 lithic artifacts excavated from the site shows that complex flaking methods, such as the Kambawa and the discoid method, were mastered. Garba 1. Garba 1 is also another important site in the Melka kunture area, dated to ca. 600,000 years ago. It was excavated on a large surface. More than 10,000 lithic remains were discovered, including many Acheulean bifaces and cleavers. At the time, a mixed grassland and evergreen bushland had developed. There is evidence of trees growing at some distance, as the beautiful Podocarpus tree. Garba 3. At Garba 3, early Middle Stone Age layers were investigated, probably with an approximate age of 200 to 150,000 years. Fragments of archaic Homo sapiens were also unearthed. All in all, more than 50 years of continuous scientific investigations in the area of Melka kunture allowed the building up of a solid geochronological framework and reconstructing environmental changes in flora and fauna, as well as changes related to human evolution, both physical and cultural, and to the evolution of the landscape. There is still an enormous potential for research at tens of sites still unexplored or just tested, which makes Melka kunture a unique heritage for future generations, allowing for a better understanding of human evolution.